When you love kids, you have to hold the people who are providing services for our young people accountable. And we weren't asking for outcomes. We weren't asking, you know, as Jane was talking about, how many kids were being served, what was the catchment area. You know, I was asking in my mind, when I was the council president at that point, I thought they were pretty simple questions. Put a map up of the city and show me where we're spending our after-school dollars. And let's take a look at what's happening in these areas to give us a sense of if real work is getting done. And when you took a look at the map and you saw concentrations of resources without outcomes changing, we knew we had to do things differently. So it was about collaboration. We worked through a process, and we have a great partner in the Family League of Baltimore, provided the structure for us to funnel the after-school programming and allow them to have a competitive process where we talked about outcomes, we talked about data, and I could look myself in the mirror and say that we're doing the right thing by our kids because the numbers reflected it. Not because, you know, you happen to like the person who was making the pitch, but because they had the numbers to support the work that we're doing. And I strongly believe that we do the best by our kids when we work together. And because of the collaborations we've had, we've shown real progress. So I rely very heavily on the collaboration, and all of the collaboration is rooted in accountability and making sure that we are doing the best that we can for our young people.
So Jane, talk a little bit about the role funders can play in convening groups of people and help everybody understand what each is funding and what the possibilities for collaboration are.
Well, you've mentioned a couple. The convening is really important, I think. Foundations, by virtue of the fact that they do have resources, often have the clout to get the people who need to be at the table to the table. And we use that quite a lot. I think we also not only provide our own resources, but we can often help cities find other resources from other foundations. One of the things that happened here in Baltimore is that we got an Expand Ed grant, in part because of the great work that's being done here, but also because the task, the After School Corporation that is managing this grant, was started by OSI in its New York office. And we've been great collaborators over the years. And so knowing about that and bringing that to the city is something that your foundation partners can help you do. I think the other thing about a foundation, what they can do is, you know, in this collaboration, everybody has their own perspective, and each of their perspectives is absolutely critical to understanding the mayor's perspective, to understand the provider's perspective. Foundations have what I often think of as kind of the bird's eye perspective. We often come to convenings like this, so we get to learn a lot about what other places are doing, other foundations are doing, and we can help people think through problems that they may not have the solution for in their own community, and give them ideas and connect them to others. So I think there's a lot to be said for really bringing a foundation in as a working partner, a roll-up-your-sleeves kind of partner. And I think more and more of them want to be that. I'm sure it can be a little intimidating, but really that's how you get foundations to understand the nature of your work most intimately and most accurately. And so I know from OSI's perspective, that's the way we like to work. We want to learn what the problems are so that we can make sure that we provide resources in the best way possible.